I apologize for the delay. I hope you weren't waiting on me for the image paths. I was thinking last night, I'm like, is there something that I said I was going to for sure send tonight? And I'm like, no, I don't think there was. And so here we are. I hope I didn't like slow you down or anything. But something I wanted to, and a lot of these things are going to be things that I wish I had someone to show me or to guide me through as I progressed in my, I almost say web development career, but it's really been more oriented towards SEO. But with that comes web development and knowing the ins and outs, if you, at least, when if you want to be as effective as possible with SEO. So this is something you'll probably notice. Yeah. If you haven't already, you may end up you'll end up noticing one way or another. So what I'm talking about is where you go into your file manager and you open up the index.html page, and this is going to be across the board. If you just double click it and you see this file, the images aren't going to render. Now I'm going to send you over a detailed explanation from Claude that will do it more, that will be more thorough than what I can give you verbally, and just for the sake of time. Um, but the workaround, and dude, I use this almost every other day, if not every day, probably, just depending on the week, and I still don't have it memorized, so don't judge, but I just felt like I should mention that because definitely no fault to you if you don't have it memorized in the near future. So, what you're going to want to do, whether you're in Cursor or wherever you are, and I'll actually show you a couple different ways. So, this is just my MacBook terminal. So, we are going to navigate to this path, and let me just make sure I know where it is. And there's a couple ways that we can do this. Like I said, I'm going to show you this fastest way last, because I want you to know how to do it if it ever, sometimes, at least on my MacBook, sometimes I'll get an error and it won't work. Well, the fastest way. So this is the file path, at least for me. And so in my terminal, so I am, disregard the MacBook Pro and MacBook Air, but basically I know I'm one folder above my downloads folder. And then we will go, actually, hold on, downloads, sorry, deliverables. Oh, so CDs change directory. If I can spell today. And then we're gonna do CD deliverable. And we're gonna paste this in here. And it's gonna run a local Python server, and it will render the images. Like I said, I'll send over the explanation, like on breaking down truly why this takes place. Now you can, couple things. You can go to http localhost 8000. Don't fret. We're gonna go over. Oh, what the heck? Hold up. Oh, this is why. Hold on. Okay. Oh, why am I doing href src equals? No, that's not what we want. So just for the sake of this video, I'm gonna whoops, shouldn't have done that. Hold on. Yeah, wait. What the heck? Oh, okay. I see why. We still want the image src. Bear with me, I'm running on low sleep. There we go. That's what we want. Because currently we have, or we should have, assets. Maybe not. WP content. Am I tripping? Or not? Oh, it's because, hold up. Am I just not seeing this? Okay, well, I'll walk through the whole thing. Actually, I was gonna say, well, I'll end this video before it gets too long, and then make a new one, or make a part two. But I'll just upload this on YouTube instead of emailing it to you. So sorry, I don't know where that folder went. Um, don't be being nosy looking at my files. No, I'm just kidding. Um, that's so bizarre. Okay. Um, unless it's in here. Hold up. WP content. Oh. Oh, it's in the dang copy. Okay. So this is why. This I was looking for this. And we actually want to grab this. So now we're gonna change the name of this folder. This is just because it was in, I don't know if you remember, but so that, wait, hold on. Do you want to copy everything? Okay, now let's see. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. So the folder was only named this because this is what the native folder for your images within WordPress is named, and so that allows me to save that much more time when I'm actually coding custom code to go into a WordPress site, and will save you that much time as well in the future. Just if you ever take this route, but don't do the custom website, but end up doing the WordPress website instead. So now, but just for the sake of showing you that this does in fact not um, load when, see, it won't load it from when it has this file prefix. Oh, here, let me go to the Jackson. Voila. I was just going to the exact same page. All right, now one other thing I wanted to like briefly cover. Once again, I'll send over a thorough explanation from Claude. It's just gonna explain it that much better than I can. Um, the htaccess file, what that is, man, I really couldn't tell. No, I'm just kidding. It's well, I say that because it's something I still struggle even to this day and age with having a grasp on. There's not much information online about like in regards to like tutorials and like there's literally, if I remember correctly, there's a handful of YouTube videos and they're the most dry, worst videos. I mean, I I guess it kind of goes to show I still don't even have a full grasp on it. But what it does, and let me pull one up. It so you see how this slash index.html is here. The htaccess allows you to cut this off, but not only that, it also that's so there is I'm not giving myself enough credit. There's a big chunk of the htaccess file that I do understand and I can navigate around easily. There is parts of it though that I still do struggle to fully grasp, and I will show you right now. I'm gonna cut this recording off. Right, so I'm just trying to think of what the best htaccess would be to show you. Oh, you know what? I know which one I will show you. So let me open the file manager. This is one of my clients, a shed company here in Texas. I did their website, or just redid their website. Well, I say redid, but just touched it up because it was looking pretty antiquated. But all right, so sometimes you won't see this file, and it's because this period means it's a hidden file. And so this is Hostinger's file manager. Nevertheless, they all kind of share a similar user interface as surely as you know, right? Being in the career path that you are, most of these platforms are going to have similar user interfaces, and so some of them you're going to have to click show hidden files, and I'm trying to remember where that is, because obviously it's showing right now. But okay, well, I won't waste your time trying to figure out where it is in this platform since we're not even using it. But just keep in mind, if you ever don't see it, that means either it's hidden and you just need to toggle it to show hidden files, or if you still don't see it, that means there is none. They're not automatically made, when a website is generated on the hosting platform, or when the structure for your website is hosted, because you do have like a set number of files that are going to generate whenever you click add website, like on whatever hosting platform that you're using. And so, and this will apply to WordPress too, by the way. So there's a lot in here. The redirects, which is just 301 redirects, so killing an old page, as you know. This is where you can do that on the server level, and this is the best place to do a redirect, because otherwise, well, I won't get too into the weeds. That's for another day. But it's just it is a lot better to do it on here opposed to like a WordPress plugin. Now, here's where things start to get muddy. So this part, pretty straightforward. So I'll just show you this part too real quick. So I took on this client when he had a fully established website. Tons of AI slop on his blog posts. Not from him, but from a previous developer. Or not, well, yeah, previous developer, from what I understand. Or it could have just been somebody working for him that was making the blog posts. But so you do capital R, redirect 301, and you put the URL with the first slash in it, and then you just do a space and put the URL you're redirecting to. Now, so I don't know, you may have noticed already, but either way, if you have or you haven't, the slash and the trailing slash that you see in here, if you notice, it's not in here. And the reason for that, so that it is a little, I don't want to say it's sloppy, but normally that would be sloppy, but I have something in here that automatically adds a trailing slash. So just for the sake of consistency, and I will show you the reason why that's important. I just established a Google Workspace for my business email, so all of my clients are in my personal ones, or my personal account. So, so this is Google Search Console. You may already be familiar with it. If you are, don't take offense. I just figured out, in case you're not familiar with it, I'll give you a quick synopsis. So this is where you can keep tabs on your rank, your clicks, and your impressions on any allotted time frame that you would like to see once it's set up. Like, you can't see historical data prior. Like, if you set it up today, you can't see any data previous to today. So why am I showing you this? And so, by the way, that data is in performance. And then, like, here's your different stats and your allotted time frames, custom, so on and so forth. Now, pages is going to show you any and everything that's notated about your website pages. Now, and this is what ties into canonicalization, doing or just having canonical URLs. The reason you have a canonical URL is to tell Google, hey, focus on this page, and any other version of this page, disregard. And what is another version of that page really mean? All it means is, depending on which website hosting platform you use, will depend on what is automatically what automatically takes place in terms of the few things I'm about to touch on. But the trailing slash index.html, and whether that has a trailing slash after it or not, and then also that slash index.html itself, depending on the developer and how they structure their sites, will depend on whether or not that's in there. And if it is in there, you can take it off through the htaccess file. But if Google has already, if that has, like, let's say you publish the site and then 3 weeks later you do your htaccess, or even 2 days later, it may seem like Google hasn't taken note of your existing URL paths at that point, but it has. It's almost like this. I don't know how or how by any means, but I do know that Google, even if you come in here and see that your website hasn't been crawled, there is some storage that takes place of the moment you publish a link, it is notated by Google. I guess they're just that much of a monolithic sized company by this point, which kind of makes sense. But so, and I bring this up just to say that even if it's just been live for a couple minutes, at that point you now have one version of your URLs out there, and then if you create your htaccess and tailor the URLs to a little bit more, I don't want to say aesthetic, but for lack of a better term, it does look a little bit better without that trailing slash index.html. Now, whether or not there's a trailing, so once this is chopped off, right, whether or not we use a trailing slash or not, I don't think there's any pros or cons, but I personally lean towards having a trailing slash. It's just something I've, I guess, grown accustomed to. I don't, like I said, I don't know if there's negatives or positives that come into play with that, but what I can tell you is that we use the canonical URLs in order to tell Google, hey, even though you've seen the index URL with this on there, and you've seen the URL with the trailing slash too without the index.html, and hey, we've also had www in our URL as well, and now we're not using www at the front. Those are all different URLs and variations that Google will notate and work. Not necessarily. Well, yeah, they work against you SEO wise unless you canonicalize the page. And so that's all you're doing is putting that one line of code that says canonical. Shoot, my brain's not working today, but I'll tell you, this is another client site right here. Okay, here. So you'll just do link rel equals canonical, and then you don't need to worry about this part, but you'll put the URL that you want Google to notate. And ironically, this is one of the few sites I have that doesn't have the trailing slash here. But nevertheless, that is just what tells Google, hey, don't count any old versions or any subsequent versions that may pop up, which shouldn't happen at all. But hopefully, I didn't get too granular into that. Hopefully, that's useful. Now, I'm gonna bounce around a couple tabs here, but how you do that? So the trailing slash, I have notes in here from Claude. Um, I'll send you this. I would save this somewhere. You can technically, you're more than welcome to omit. Let's see, the trailing slash. You can omit this, but it's something I would recommend using. I mean, unless it makes any difference to you. But and then the here's what cuts off the index.html. In reality, you're just redirecting this to slash sheds slash index.html. You're just redirecting that to slash sheds. That's all it really is. Oh, and then another one other version of canonical or of variable URLs is going to be when you have, if you don't set up in your htaccess, which most website platforms these days automatically force HTTPS up here. The occasional website platform may not force it, but from what I understand, most do. And so if it doesn't, it will render without the S in here, and that will be another version of your page. And so a good habit to get in. So this right here is forcing the www on the website. I tend to stray away from using the www just because it makes it unnecessarily long and there's no benefit. It just stands for World Wide Web. I guess if you're a global based website or if you're a website that is catering to a global market, then keep it in there. I'm sure probably has its use case, but I've never, in my experience, learned what that use case may be, other than just knowing that it's good to have if you have a website that has worldwide customers. So, a couple other things on here. These, I won't get too into these right now. I know this is already a long video, but I'm gonna take these and send these to you. Well, wait, no, I'm gonna leave this one off. Now, you definitely need, and I'll include this, but you need to have this at the top of your htaccess. Oh, and then so one last thing real quick. Why I was showing you this is to show you that. Okay, well, this may not be the best client to show you it on. Nope. Okay, yeah, this isn't going to be the right client to show you this on. This is a newer client of mine, and so I figured maybe it would show in here. Let's see if it ever was an issue for Ruben. Oh well, okay. If I find it, I'll make a little additional video for you.